In this video, we're going to go over the scores detail view and just how to understand what's on the screen here. So really, it's pretty, a lot of things are self-explanatory, like title, editor, publisher. These fields are somewhat simple to understand. You just click in them and you can edit a name or, just to fix a typo or whatnot. What might not be so easily understood is there's a number of other things down here in the tabs section. As much as we'd like to, it'd be nice to have all of this information entered for all 11,000 scores, but sometimes we just don't know. So when we enter things, a lot of these fields are left blank, and as this information becomes available, you can enter it. If you have, let's look for some different scores here. For examples, let's just look for some orchestra scores. Find orchestra, click perform find, and we're left with our orchestra scores. And notice the category, you can have chamber orchestra, full orchestra, or pops. Depending on which you choose there, you have different subcategories. What types of subcategories? And even a particular piece might have a solo or a theme, so you can look for different themes in the list. Please avoid typing too many specific areas in here. We want to try to keep this as general as possible, so if you're looking for orchestration with vocal solos, you can just do a search on that. Notice how there's a lot of different things in here, so that's part of the job we need to do, is just clean that up so it makes it easier to search, so it's more useful. Different vocal pieces often have accompaniment, so there's, the accompaniment list is way too long right now. Orchestra reduction for organ. Those things can probably be generalized, so you want to be careful that you don't get too carried away. As we're working with pieces and ordering, we like to keep who we order this particular piece from, the item number, and cost is also important, especially when the music is being used for a particular ensemble, because if a student doesn't turn the music in, then it's going to look for this cost field. I'm going to do another type of search here. I'm going to go into find mode, and I'm just going to look for anything that has a cost. I'm going to put an asterisk key there, click perform find, and now I can find scores in our library, more than likely things we've used recently, 134. So up here in the found count, 134 files. Now this particular choir piece, because it has a C means choir, is from J.W. Pepper. There's the item number and the per copy cost. So that's this left section. You'll also notice last performed and how long ago. If that information has been entered on the other tabs, it'll actually calculate the date we last performed this piece. So other areas, a nice little checkbox section here to say what kind of score we have, whether it's none, oversized, condensed, or full. If there's an oversized score, if you click that, you'll see a yellow highlighted field that comes up to tell you there's an oversized score for this piece. So when you're searching the database, if you see this yellow oversized score, that's cluing you in that the oversized score is actually in a different section of the library. All our oversized scores are on one larger shelf because they don't fit with the regular music. So you want to be sure if there's an oversized score, check that box so the librarians know oversized score. I better go to that shelf and pull it. Condensed, full, none are other options. Request this score is the button we can use to actually create a new request. I won't cover that in this detail in this video, but that opens up a dialog that actually says, oh, this ensemble is going to need it by this date, and that covers that. Over here you see composed by and arranged by. You can add or remove composers and arrangers by clicking in this field. That will open up a box to type in the name. That's last name first. So if this happened to be, Moward John, I could just say, click on on that name, or whatever name I want to choose. Okay, I'll just click on that. And that will then add that name, and you'll see that the composed by field is now going to be updated to 2 composers. I can remove this errant thing by just deleting that record. Same thing applies to arranged by. Last inventoried is the last time we actually did a scan of this music and checked its actual existence on the shelf. So that covers the details area. Other tabs I will go through rather quickly here. More info. You can print a music out report. That gives you a comprehensive report of all the music that's out. Alternate titles, very common in jazz to have a title like Moon River. Well, to avoid copyright problems, they might spell moon M-U-N-E. Well, you would, in fact, let's try that. Let's just see if that's in here. It seems like I remember something like that. M-U-N, Moon River. So Moon River is has an alternate title of Moon River. So if somebody's searching for Moon River, they actually find Moon River. So that's where you want to enter alternate titles, condition, location, style, different ratings here. Every person who has a login on the database could actually mark this as a favorite. And now when I log in, I can actually search for my favorites. So if I uncheck that, then that goes away. Actually, I probably just need to delete that whole section there because it's no longer a favorite. Let me try deleting that. So maybe need to add that function to actually delete one of my favorites or notes. Anyway, going on to performance, you can see different performances. Let me also do another search here, and I'll just enter an asterisk in this field to give you an example of pieces that have been performed. And there's one without much information. These are more than likely very historical, long before the database was created. And it was just off a spreadsheet that we imported. So these are back from 2007. Okay, so here's one where Women's Choir in spring of 2014 with Gary Widenar directing performed this on January 1st. So we can enter other performances there, and I'll cover that in other videos. Movements. If the piece has movements, let's find some movements. I'm going to, again, enter an asterisk here so you can see. Okay, so notice that these pieces have movements, not necessarily any specifics on times. Some of them will actually include times, if I can get lucky and find one. Okay, so there's a piece that has a movement with a time. Back on the details page, it'll show you the duration. That is automatically calculated from the movements tab. If you have multiple movements, it will add that time up and give you the total running time of the piece with all the movements. Okay, and here we don't have the running times. Copies, brief overview. This is all of the pieces of music in a particular folder. Every piece of music we check out will get a barcode. Let's go ahead and find some, I know choir's got a lot of pieces that we've done. And let's see if I can think of a piece here. Well, let's just do a search there. Okay, so here's a particular piece of music that has a number of copies entered. With choral music, it's always the same. Every piece of music is the same. With instrumentation, instrumental music, you'll have the flutes, the piccolos, oboes, bassoons, clarinets, and all those parts will get entered individually, and that's how we keep track of those. And you'll also see up here copy count. This is a calculated field based on the number of copies in the list that are available. Notice if I check missing, my copies has now dropped by 1. Okay, well, I found the piece. I'm going to uncheck missing. We're back up to 50. So that's where we keep track of that. If the music's checked out, you will see the date out, checked out too. Again, I can do a find and just put an asterisk in the date out field, and I'll find some scores that are checked out. Okay, Dr. Peterson has copy number 1 of Upon Julia's Voice, and it shows that it was checked out on April 4th of 2014. That's true for all these pieces of music. A lot of faculty will have things. Okay, here's one, must be chamber choir getting ready to go to Spain. So here's the students who have those particular pieces of music. This backwards curling arrow is a way to return or check in this copy of music. This is just a demo database, so it doesn't hurt for me to do that. I can just check that box and I can return this music. Or we can use the scan function covered in other videos. Instrumentation shows, okay, well, this is just choral music, therefore only choral pieces, they're all the same, all the scores are the same. If I find, let's go to find, and I'm going to find something with a bassoon, I guess, just for lack of other things. Okay, so here's instrumentation for this band piece. It shows all the different types of instruments and how many. In this case, there are 4 clarinet 1s, 4 clarinet 2s, 1 bass clarinet, and that shows you the different instrumentation. PDFs actually give us the option to look at music with PDFs. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't find something that has a PDF here. And okay, so here is a band piece, Red Sky, that has PDFs. I can actually view the PDF by clicking that, and oh, that's right, I'm in my demo database, it's not available. Sorry about that. Anyway, in the real database, you can click view and it'll find the file. Another interesting thing to note is, because this is a piece of music that we purchased as a PDF, we did do printouts, so this is on the shelf. And if I come back here to the details view, if a PDF is available, another icon appears, like the oversized score, PDF available. That tells me that I have PDFs on the PDF tab. So if I click on my PDF tab, I'll see the various PDFs. I can say which part it is, and you can open these up and print them out to replace the music if necessary. That'll be covered in more of a sub-detailed video somewhere along the lines. So, overview of the scores detail. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching.